welcome to the It Doesn't Hold Up podcast. We review and reevaluate all things remember fondly from our childhood and years prior to see if they still hold up. And more often not, probably don't. I'm Stuart Shepherd, along with my co-host and good friend Michael Smith. Smith, don't think it makes my dick itch.
Oh, I was going to say that, you prick.
Yes, yes.
I wanted to say that to someone at work once, but I thought, nah, probably get fired.
Yeah, I just wouldn't get the reference. What do you mean I make your dick itch?
I'm all right, thank you. Anyway, Stu, how are you? Apart
Yeah,
from with your itchy dick.
yes. So I have an irritation in the genitalia area. But yes, no, I'm fine. I'm fine. Tired, but fine. But when am I not tired? I'm a parent.
I'm not tired, and I'm a parent.
Right. Anyway, before we get on to this episode's nomination, just want to talk about last episode's feedback, which was Moonraker.
Da da
Uh,
da da.
Ta-da. We got a lot of really good feedback for this. So, in no particular order, another great episode. Speaking of A View to a Kill, please cover that in the future. No.
No, no, no.
One Roger Moore film is enough.
I've said all I need to say about Roger
Yeah,
Moore, and the man looks
absolutely.
like he's made of tanned leather.
Absolutely. The running commentary of He'll Shagger whenever he entered a room had me in stitches. Great episode, guys. Had me in stitches too. And then, cheers, guys. This was a great lesson. A listen, one of your best so far. Well, thank you very much. Well,
Oh,
ask you shall receive. You asked for Moonraker, you got Moonraker. So there you go.
but there will be no more Bond.
No more Bond. Or would there be? No, there'll be no
No.
more Bond. No, no.
Maybe you only live twice. No, yeah, you only live twice. We talk about the racism.
Oh, well, yeah, that hasn't
Oh,
aged well. I watched that a couple of years ago. I was like, yeah, it's not good. Cool. Right. Is there anything else you want to say on Moonraker, Roger Moore, James Bond, or James Bond in general before we move on? And did you get any feedback?
the only feedback I got was from people asking if I was going to do any more Bond films, to which I've responded, no, no, I'm definitely not going to do that. But there's nothing else I need to say about Moonraker. Although actually there is one thing. I looked up afterwards the list of all of the Bond villains ranked, how
Oh,
people
okay.
like to rank things. And Drax came quite close to the top. And the article was saying, oh, he put in a great performance. I was like, the man looked like he was half asleep.
Well, yeah.
What's his what great performance? He was barely awake for half the film.
Is it like his villainous plan is one of the most original or something?
It's
I don't
not
know.
though, because it's a direct copy of the film that came before it. Anyway, that's neither here
Anyway,
nor there. Moving swiftly on.
movie swifting on. So, yes, this episode's nomination came from Smith, and it is Beverly Hills Cop 3. So, this is the story of Axel Foley returning once again to Beverly Hills to find a killer. It's
Again,
literally the same. Only this time it's in a theme park, Wonder World.
a different bit of LA, a bit of theme
Yeah,
parks.
that's right. So, this is
Is
yet
it
another.
shot in LA? No.
No, that was a question my wife had. Was like, is this actually a real theme park, or do you reckon they stage it? Like, it looks like a pretty real theme park to me.
Oh, do you mean she didn't realize it wasn't real from the long shot where it's clearly a model?
Well, yes.
We'll wait to get there. I saw that. I was like, oh, come on.
Come on. Yeah.
I think it was filmed in California, and I think bits of it are a real theme park. Bits of it.
Yeah.
But
Yeah.
we'll
Well,
get
it
to
must.
that.
It must be. Imagine making a set design for that. That'd be crazy. Right. So this is yet another one from 1994. This came out in the States in May 1994. We got it in July 1994. We have done 1994 to death. So what are we doing for scene
It
setting,
was
Smith?
Golden Age, Stu. It was Golden Age. So what
It
we're going to do
was.
this time is have a bit more of an informal chat. And it's spurred on by the star of this film, one Mr. Eddie Murphy. And it is, what are actors that you just don't get? So Eddie
Okay.
Murphy is one of these actors for me where when I was a kid, like he's done a few films I like. So Trading Places, except it hasn't aged particularly well in certain bits. Um, what else? The first Beverly Hills Cop's pretty good. I liked Golden Child when I was a kid, but I've seen it recently and it sucks. Um, Apart from that, I just don't like Eddie Murphy. I just don't think he's funny. You know what I mean? It's like everyone like when they show you like Raw and that other stand-up,
Delirious.
Delirious. It's not funny. He's
Oh.
not funny. He's just loud.
What about his Saturday Night Live stuff? I mean, I've never seen it, but
Not my thing at all. Um, so when you look then at his stuff from the 90s, I was like Nutty Professor, nope, didn't like any of it. Doctor Dolittle, didn't like it.
it might not
Meet
do now. Probably hate
Meet
it now.
Dave, Meet Dave, not great. Adventures of Pluto Nash, terrible. Norbit, awful. Like what is the appeal? And do you have any actors like that? Because I'll give you another example for them,
Hmm.
and this is one that I think is even more sacrilegious. Because I think Eddie Murphy can be quite divisive, and I certainly think people see there are two types of Eddie Murphy, which is Eddie Murphy in the Delirious More era and Eddie Murphy in the family-friendly TV comedy. I'm not particularly fond of either of them. Um, the other one, which is a little bit more sacrilegious, is someone I like in serious roles, but I do not find funny at all and never have. Robin Williams. He's not funny.
Oh,
He
no,
just talks quickly, loudly, and puts on an offensive accent every now and again. It's not funny. It's just someone who's done too much cocaine.
well, yeah.
Mrs. Doubtfire is not a great film.
What now? See, that is on the list for us to cover at some point. So yeah, I would disagree with you there. Well, no, you didn't have a problem with him in Hook though. That wasn't your issues with Hook.
No, it wasn't my issue to Hook because I like him when he's being more serious. And actually I found the bits where he was Peter Pan fully a bit cringeworthy because he's back to doing that manic thing that he
Mm,
does, which is about as funny as a kick in the dick.
no, I have found Robin Williams funny and stuff. I know what you mean. He can be insufferable, but he did serious so goddamn well, so
Yes,
well. You know.
that's it. When you see that, you see stuff like 1 Hour Photo or Insomnia or Good Will Hunting or
Oh.
Death to Smooch even. Like these are great, darkly comic or just straight dramatic roles, and
Mhm.
he's really good in them.
Yeah. Okay.
But the stand up and the comedy is just I never got it.
Yeah, I never saw Robin Williams stand up. Actually, no, I'll give you one just to go back to Eddie Murphy. Did you ever see Dreamgirls? Because did he get an Oscar for that?
He got an Oscar nomination for that. He didn't win it because
Okay.
many people blame Norbit because it came out roughly the same time, and they're
Right.
like, "Oh,
Yeah.
we can't vote for him."
Yeah.
I never saw Dreamgirls.
Yeah. No,
Again,
I've not seen it.
Eddie Murphy as a name above a film title isn't enough to make me go, "Oh, I'll watch that." I just kind of, oh, all right, I don't really care. It's not for me.
But what about the Shrek movies, though? I mean, I know it's only voice acting, but what do you think?
Again, no, not. I mean, yeah, no. I have a bigger problem with the Shrek movies is that somewhere in history, somebody told Mike Myers he could do a Scottish accent and he cannot,
Yeah, no,
and he
agreed.
keeps doing it in things, and it's like he can't do that. It's not a Scottish accent, you weirdo. Stop it.
Yeah, yeah.
Anyway, how about you? Any
What
actors you don't get?
actors I don't get? I mean, oh yeah, I guess he's an actor. He's more of a comedian, but yeah, Ricky Gervais, I do not get it. Like,
Fair.
I don't find him funny. There's a couple of what's that one where is it Afterlife like that
Yep.
where yeah there's a couple of jokes that I've seen on like Instagram YouTube that I've laughed at that but I don't find him funny, right? And even
Mm-hmm.
stuff in The Office, I think the genius was probably more Stephen Merchant than him. So yeah, I just I don't get it. I don't get Ricky Gervais. um Similarly on that vein, it's a lot of English comedies. It's like all the cast of Gavin and Stacey, like Matt Horn and
Yeah.
James Corden, they're not fucking funny like that. It's like, no, I'm not finding any of this funny at all, especially James Corden, you know.
No, I don't, no, I'm not particularly fond of them.
The Inbetweeners, any of those, the cast of that show is dreadful. I don't understand why people find it so fucking funny. It's not.
Oh, Greg Davis is in it. He's good. And
It
Simon Bird was good in Friday Night Dinners.
Yeah, that's Friday Night Dinner, but it's
Oh, you mean the
well,
show?
yeah, okay, I take your point. But in terms of like actors, like another one, this may be an unpopular opinion. Scarlett Johansson, don't really get it. Don't really understand why everyone thinks she's so amazing.
I think Scarlett Johansson is good for certain things. Um, like when she's doing indie dramas and stuff like that, she's really good at that. I mean, in the last Jurassic World film, I don't know if you saw it,
Ugh.
she's so miscast.
Mm.
It's just like she's not an action hero. She can't. She's just quite. I don't know. It feels like she's got no energy to her in that regard. I mean, oh, to be fair, Black Widow is probably an exception, but some of the other stuff, yeah, I kind of see it.
Black Widow was shit. I hated that.
No, but like the character in other stuff, the Black
Yeah,
Widow
yeah,
film is it's a bit mid, but
yeah,
yeah. Chevy Chase, there's one. Never got it.
yeah, yeah,
Not funny. Not funny in the slightest. Don't get why everyone thought he was like this great comedic genius. He's just a dickhead. I can do
yeah,
that.
yeah. I'll give you that. There was one more I thought of, and it's gone now. But yeah, a lot of it for me is. Oh no, too. Someone now who grates on me who never used to. Jim Carrey. I fucking loved Jim Carrey
Yeah.
when I was younger, and now I'm like, oh God, why did we find this man hilarious? Why?
No, no, I'm completely with you on that one. Going back and revisiting Jim Carrey films for this podcast has been an eye opener and one that I didn't necessarily want.
Yeah. But another man who can do serious because Eternal Sunshine and The Truman Show are amazing. Like I will die on that hill. They are
Yes,
such good films. You know.
they are. The number 23, on the other hand.
Oh boy. Oh, yeah.
That film is fucking trash.
But
Um,
just to circle back there, but Eddie Murphy, no, I've always been okay with Eddie Murphy. I liked the early stuff like 48 Hours and Trading Places and Coming to America is really good. Coming to America is not that shit. Um, I like all the Beverly Hills Cops. Oh, spoiler. And then Nutty Professor. I would like to rewatch that, so perhaps we will cover that on the podcast in the future, but not for a while
Oh,
because we've just
goody.
done any. Yeah, but again, one of those movies I remember as being hilarious. You probably watch it now like, oh, this isn't funny. But yeah. Um,
Just to tie the two people I've said together there, by the way, so roughly in the same period, you've got that and you've got Robin Williams in Flubber, two films that are just terrible.
I don't think I've seen Flubber, and I've never had any desire to watch it whatsoever.
Mm.
Yeah. Right then. Okay. So that was our scene setting of people we don't find funny or just don't get.
I'm sure
Um,
there's others. Oh, by the way, just for one, just throw it in there because I'll never miss an opportunity to rag on this person.
go on.
WWE's main event, Jey Uso. Just because you call somebody main event doesn't mean they're main event or even any good.
And I will go with John Cena, but because yeah, no, he wasn't particularly good. I never understood why he was shoved down our throats for so long. Same with Roman
Yeah.
Reigns. Yeah,
Well, at least Roman Reigns can put on a banger of a main event. Anyway, we're getting off topic.
we are getting off topic. Right then. So this came out, yeah, July 1994, and we would have been
Hmm.
way too young to see it at the cinema. So when, because I can vividly recall when I saw it the
Despite the
first time.
fact, you can vividly recall everything. It's despite the fact that this is clearly aimed at children.
I don't know, you said this to me offline. I was like, there's still a lot of swearing and violence in this. How's it aimed at children?
There's a lot of violence, but there's no blood.
There is blood.
No, there isn't.
Not
There's
tons of it, but you can see
people getting
gunshot
yeah,
wounds.
no, and yes, there is. I was actually surprised by the amount of swearing. I'd kind of got this in my head as a film that had none of that. Like it was really
Ah,
sanitized, and it's not, but it still feels cartoony and childish. Anyway, we'll get to it.
I'm thinking as well, you might have perhaps watched some of the TV versions because when it's on TV, it's laughable. They cut all of the swearing out. It's like, give me the stinking gun and stuff like that. It's so bad.
Go on,
But
why don't
anyway,
you say when you watched it first? Because your story is going to be better than mine, which will be
eh,
I don't really remember,
no,
but I
it's
had
so
it on VHS and I watched it a lot.
I rented this, so this would have come out July. If this came out in July 1994, it would have been available to rent on video like January 1995. So
Mm.
I remember as a family, we rented it from Blockbuster Video at a half term. Right, so we went to half, it was half term, went to Blockbuster Video, let's rent a film out. And I hadn't even heard about it. We looked at the new releases, and there's Eddie Murphy standing there with a roller coasters in the background. It said Beverly Hills Cop 3. And as a family, we love Beverly Hills Cop 1 and 2. We're like, oh, holy shit, there's a new Beverly Hills Cop film.
I love I love the concept of as a family. Like, well, we'll sit
Yeah.
down as a family and watch Beverly Hills Cop, as is tradition.
Well, because, again, I don't know if you remember this. Beverly Hills 1 and Cop, uh, Beverly Hills Cop 1 and 2, they seem to be on repeat on telly all the time in the early 90s. They were just always on. Right. And yeah, so I watched them both the original ones. I can't remember much of the second one. The first one is embedded in my head, and so is this one. But they always just seem to be on. So it was just a film whenever they were, my family would watch it.
So it's an interesting one for me because I watched this a lot. I had it on VHS and it was recorded VHS, so it wasn't
Yeah.
a bought one. So I'd have clearly recorded it off the
Yep.
TV, probably Sky. Um, and I'd watch it as I did with all of the things I had on VHS. I'd watch them on a kind of weird rotation, but I just watched them all again and again and again because that's what you did. Because you only had a
Yeah.
finite amount of
Sure.
films, and TV was shit. So it was just I'm just going to keep watching the same films again. But I had no affinity for Beverly Hills Cop 1 or 2 to the point where I've seen Beverly Hills Cop 1, definitely. I couldn't tell you a thing about it. Can't remember it all. I've definitely seen it. I remember Paul Reiser was in it. He's not in this one. Um, Ronnie Cox was in it. He's not in this one. John Ashton was in it. He's not in this one. Um, and I don't know if I've ever seen 2. I think I have.
Mm.
I must have done at some point, or I've seen bits of. Does 2 have Bridget Nielsen in it?
Yeah. So from what I understand,
Right.
the plot of the second one is Bridget Nielsen shoots the Ronnie Cox character at the start, who doesn't die. He's in hospital, and then that's why Axel Foley gets called back to Beverly Hills to find out what the fuck's going on. And it's, I think, I might be mixing this up with Lethal Weapon 3. It's about bullets that can pierce armor as well. I think that's how I remember it. But
Right.
same, I can only remember
I
bits and
have
pieces
seen
of the
2
second
then,
one. Yeah.
but I don't remember it. And I'd actually probably like to go back and revisit the first 2 because I haven't seen them in a long, long time. It's one of those films. Number one is despite being one of those kind of 80s classics, it's a film that I've never owned in any capacity. I've never had it recorded off the TV. I never bought it. I've never owned Beverly Hills Cop. I think I've seen it maybe twice in my entire life, maybe, and maybe
Mm.
not even that, maybe once.
Interesting. Now, see, I had Beverly Hills Cop 1 and 2 that I bought from a boot fair, but I never had on video, but I never had 3. But for some reason, I've watched 3 the most. So I think when it was on Sky, I just used to watch it on repeat over and
Well,
over
see,
and
this is
over and
it.
over.
I watched three again and again and again, despite the fact that I had absolutely no love for the first two. Uh, oh, and by the way, for any American listeners, a boot fair is
Oh yeah.
where English people go to a field and throw boots at each other, and occasionally copies of VHS classics from the 80s.
No, Smith, that's not what it is. For our American fans,
That's how I do it.
it's when people open up the trunk, as you guys call it, of their car and they sell the old shit from their house in the back of their car. Bit like a yard sale, but in your car. So there you go.
A
Um,
trunk fair is more like an orgy.
perhaps.
So don't get them mixed up.
Yeah.
But also, you might come away with a copy of Beverly Hills Cop. It just have more jizz on it.
Yeah. And it's weird that I bought 1 and 2 because 3 was my favorite when I was a kid. And it's interesting you said about it's cartoony because I think this film was marketed towards kids because
Mm.
they're probably realistic. Look, kids watch action movies, do they? So let's just dumb it down a bit, but still make it all violent, whether if adults want to watch it. Because this was the one I was drawn to the most. And yeah, I've got them all on DVD as well. I've bought them. I've never watched them on DVD, but yeah.
What I can say with some degree of confidence is that this film is tonally different than the first two,
Yes.
and it looks different than the first two, and we'll get to that. It has got a very 90s feel about it,
Uh-huh.
a very 90s film stock, a very 90s filming style about it, and it reminds me of another film that we've covered that has very similar um, visual language about it.
Okay.
Can you guess which one?
Uh, Not off the top. Rush Hour?
No, we'll get to it.
Yeah, my wife got vibes of Rush Hour when we were watching this. She was like, "Oh, this is kind of like Rush Hour, the way it's sort of paced, and they have to go from there to there to there to there." And I was like, maybe. I think Rush Hour's funnier though.
Yeah, Rush Hour was a much better film. Also, in this, there's an investigation, barely. They don't
Yeah,
do any fucking police work.
no, right. Well, this is not a segue. Should we get into it? The plot.
Mm,
This does kind of have
let's.
a plot though, I must say. Right.
Okay.
So Paramount. Now, this is interesting. No title credits. So weird. The film just
Yeah,
starts. I'm like, why is there no title credits? Like in the first one, you get the heat is on as the credits are hitting. The second one, there's some other like cool 80s music going on with credits. And this one, just no credits. It just
straight
starts.
in. Which is why, when it got to the end, and I saw who directed this film, I was shocked. Absolutely shocked because I hadn't done any research beforehand and I'd forgotten who directed this film.
Really? You didn't know it was John
Yeah,
Landis?
no,
Oh, even I knew that.
I
Yeah.
was shocked that this was a John Landis film. He is a great director. This is terribly directed. Anyway,
Well, that's what the Twilight Zone tragedy would do to you, wouldn't
well, yeah,
it?
you've killed three people. All
Yeah,
you're
yeah.
getting is Beverly Hills Cop 3.
And the Stupids and Blues Brothers 2000. Yeah.
Oh, Christ, he did the stupids. Oh, okay. Anyway, yes, go on. Carry on.
Anyway, cool. Right. So we learned it's Detroit at 1:37 a.m. Why we need to know that,
Why?
I don't
I
know.
don't know. I wrote that down as like this time and place is very significant. Not the
Very-
date though. It's
No.
1:37 a.m. on a Tuesday. I don't know.
Is it in the 80s still? Or are we in the 90s? What? Where?
Oh,
Uh,
it's the 90s. It's very much the
yeah.
90s.
Yeah. We're by a train station, a shitty rundown alley, and we meet Detective Axel Foley. He's giving his team a rundown of the bust they're about to do for carjacking on the mechanic shop. And then, right on cue, we get Inspector Todd arrives, not being as shouty and loud as he normally has been in the other two films. And he wants to know where SWAT is, but Axel has cancelled it. He did have a really funny line. He goes, I wouldn't raid a church bingo game without SWAT. That's funny. I always like Inspector
Is it
Todd in these films.
is it funny? Also, this is where I've written down my observation of what this film looks like. So I don't know why I didn't just tell you, but this has a big visual similarity for me to RoboCop 3.
Oh, yeah.
It's
Yeah,
got
now
that
you mention that.
same
Yeah, yeah, okay.
broadly artificial soundstagey look to it, which I can't quite put my finger on, but it looks like one of those mid-budget 90s films that all look broadly the same.
They shouldn't be mid-budget. I think there was quite a big budget for this movie,
It
but
was, but it doesn't look it.
yeah, yeah. And then inside the mechanic shop, the mechanics start dancing and singing to Diana Ross, and one does a cartwheel, which I found really funny. And I put down, look, as funny as this scene is, why does it exist? Why
I do,
is
I said I do not remember this extended song and dance sequence,
I do.
which is also not very funny. I don't know why it's here. It's not. This is the problem I'm already having with this film at this point. Is it's none of it's landing. Also, um, I think we skipped over it, but there's a bit where the detective is like, "This is your operation. I'm just an observer, but I'll be watching." It's like, "Yes, that's what an observer does." That's a redundant thing you've just said.
Yeah.
Um, and then Axel has like a funny, in inverted commas, response, which is the line is only there to set up his little joke, and it's not delivered well, and it isn't funny. And I wonder
Yeah.
why the captain is here. Surely not just to get killed and set up the plot.
Well, yeah. He was like my favourite character of the first two movies. Oh, yeah. A car arrives containing scallywags, no doubt, and he's not named yet, but it's Alistair Ward. And I've written down, he is the most unthreatening villain ever.
I know. If you weren't paying attention, you'd think it was Judge Reinhold turning
Yeah.
up because
Oh,
they
no.
look broadly the same.
Yeah, they do. They do. We learned that these mechanics have hijacked a truck and nobody got hurt. And then they look in the back of the truck and see there's lots of boxes with property US government written on them. And now they want to be paid. But this bit pissed me off so much.
How do these men not realize they're about to be murdered?
Yeah. And how did they
Like,
get put in touch with these guys anyway? What?
no, no sense.
But this is what annoyed me the most. The henchmen opened the briefcases, presumably with money inside to pay them, but instead there's machine guns in there. But they've been lined with towels from the Hotel of Wonderworld where they work. Why the fuck would you do that? Why?
Because they're free, Stu. Otherwise, you've got to go and buy towels.
Oh my God.
Did you
And
notice as well, one of the car mechanics who gets shot here is Al Leong?
is he the guy from Die Hard?
Yes.
Yes. So I've written down, I think this is the guy from Die, but I might be being racist. So it is.
Yeah, it is.
Right.
That's what I was looking up before we joined because I was like, I have written that down, but I want to double check that it wasn't. It wasn't.
Yeah,
He is
exactly.
like 80s action henchman, and you shoot him dead in the first 5 seconds without him doing anything. What are you playing at?
He should have at least made it to the last fight with Eddie Murphy or something. This is
He
bullshit.
didn't kung fu kick anyone in the face.
Nobody. Nobody. But yeah, they start shooting up the place. Everyone's getting murdered. A guy suddenly sets on fire after getting shot. I was like, why would that happen? Oh, and then the radio is shot as well, which made me happy because that song was starting to really get on my nerves. So Axel arrives and bangs on the mechanic's door. I love it. One of the henchmen says to Alistair Wald, he went, "There's some guy outside. What should I do?" He goes, "Kill him." Why? You don't know he's a cop. Why don't you just open the door and go, "Oh, yeah, all right, everything's fine. Bye bye." You know?
Yeah, we're not open. Bye.
Yeah.
Leave.
Yeah. And then uh, again, at this point, Axel doesn't know that they've got machine guns or whatever, but he just goes in there and starts being all like funny inverted commas, saying, "Oh, is this the chop shop? Oh yeah," and all this sort of shit. I was like, why are you doing this? This is supposed to be a bust for people like carjacking. Why are you coming in being a smart ass?
That is not how police officers should behave.
Yeah, yeah. Back to like some guy, what should I do? Kill him. So I might start doing that. My wife said there's someone at the door. There's someone at the door. What should I do? Kill him. Uh,
Honestly, that's a response to anything. Oh, what do you want for dinner? Kill him.
like what?
You heard.
Yeah. And then Axel immediately starts fighting with people, and then a massive shootout begins. Like, because of course. And then Ellis tries to escape, but his car crashes into one of Axel's team. And I'm like, I couldn't work out here if these guys who crash into Ellis die or they get out of the car because you don't see him again,
Oh, I think they get out of the car.
do they?
I think so, unless there's, well, maybe not. No, they only ever mentioned one cop being killed, so I'm assuming they're fine.
Yeah, yeah,
I tell you
yeah,
what, the henchmen with their machine guns studiously avoid hitting anyone or anything.
yeah. Nobody gets killed at this point.
Useless.
Yeah, yeah. Because I remembered for some reason wrongly that a few of Axel's team gets killed in this, but it's not. It's just Inspector
No.
Todd. But yeah. But yeah, two guys running at the garage and they trip over dead bodies, which I thought was funny. They just run straight back out again. And then Captain Todd hears all this commotion. He's like, hang on, I thought you said you were going to be observing. Observing what? Where are you? Down in another alley. Like,
Having a shit behind a
yeah,
dumpster.
it might have been. And then,
Goddamn enchiladas.
so he hears a load of commotion going on, so he intervenes, and then he shoots a henchman, and then Ellis wakes up and shoots Todd, who's walking by, like, no, Todd. Then Axel makes his way inside, and then he's shot again by Ellis. Oh, you son of a bitch. And then as he's dying, Todd tells Axel, "You're on a coffee break, go get that son of a bitch," and then dies. Right, like, right, screen time, 45 seconds.
Yeah.
Yeah. Axel sees that truck with boxes getting away, so he steals a red car and gives chase to the truck. Now, I loved this car chase scene when I was a kid. I loved it because I just found it hilarious. Every time the car keeps getting shot, pieces of it just keep flying off.
Well, see, that's the kind of thing you do like when you're a kid, but watching as an adult, you're like, this is silly, especially when you consider this is coming after the first two Beverly Hills Cop films, which are kind of more serious in tone, and you're starting off with a sequence where someone's shooting bits of a car off bit by bit. Also, did you notice when he gets in the car and drives out of the garage that the roof flies off
Yeah,
and just sort of hangs there?
yeah,
It's clearly on wires. So it just kind of flies up and flaps about in the sky.
yeah.
It
I think
doesn't
that was
fall on
the
the ground.
point. I think that was the point. It was being repaired at the chop shop. So as it
No,
drove
that's
off, would just do that. It was just hanging around.
well, no, I mean, I think it's a gaff. I think they was connected to wires, so it made it look like it had flown off, but they didn't cut soon enough, so you see it flying around, so it doesn't just fall on the floor.
I'm not
I'm
sure
sure
that's a
they've
gaff.
I'm assuming they've pulled it. Well, I think it is.
Oh well, I will check IMDb for
Well,
goofs or whatever. But or
make
unless you've
sure that
already
you
done
do.
that.
Make sure that you do, sir. No,
Yeah,
I haven't.
yeah. Now you say this, but the first Beverly Hills Cop starts off like this because in the first one he's pretending to be a drug dealer, and then it turns out it's a load of bullshit, and he's in a van, and the van drives off, and he's holding onto a chain, and he's all like dangling out as it's going along. So this just reminded me of the start of the first one. So I didn't think it was that
Yeah, but
childish.
that's more of a straight action sequence, though.
Yeah. Okay.
They're
But
not
anyway,
like having someone blowing like the roof off and then blowing the hood off, then blowing the door off and then blowing one of the seats out. It's like,
then the airbag comes up. I found all this bit really funny. And
I
then
mean,
he
it's again, it reminds me very heavily of RoboCop 3.
well, yeah, but RoboCop 3 was trying to be serious. I think there was an element of humour in this.
Hmm.
And then Axel shoots one of the henchmen, and Ellis just kicks him out the door. Then Axel runs over him, except it's clearly a dummy. He just pulls up, oh, face.
It's no can you fly, Bubby,
No, nothing.
which is what they're going for.
Yeah,
But this man is not a Kurtwood Smith.
yeah. He just goes, "Help me, man!" And Ellis just kicks him out.
No, get out. Bye
Yeah.
bye.
And then we see a fiendish-looking man stand a car with two other blokes down an alley, and they pull right in front of Axel. And by this point, Axel's car is completely demolishes, and then yeah, the van gets away.
So this is Stephen McHattie, who's been in various different things. He's in the
Mm.
Watchmen movies in Pontypool. He's a very good horror film. But it's like the second he turns up, I'm like, oh, I wonder if he's a villain.
Yeah, exactly.
He's
Like,
like so obviously a bad guy. It's like, oh, okay.
and like in The Simpsons, you got Fat Tony, right? He looks like one of Fat Tony's henchmen. I don't know why.
He does.
Yeah, yeah,
Fingers?
yeah. It might be
Is that
fingers. Yeah, yeah. And then yeah, Axel starts shouting at these people, and we learn they are Secret Service agents. And this guy in question is called Steve Fulbright. And then Fulbright tells Foley he's in the middle of a federal investigation, and that Ellis DeWald, again, who we've not been named yet, must not be apprehended this time, as they want to know what he's got in that truck, where he's going, and who's he telling it to. I was like, I'm not believing any of this. This is all bullshit.
I think you're a villain.
Yeah, you're absolutely in on this. Right, we cut to Inspector Todd's police funeral, and Axel is sad, and he's speaking with colleagues.
I
God,
tell you what, the singer at this funeral was giving it a bit much. It's a funeral, mate. It's not American Idol. What the fuck are you playing at?
I remember as a kid laughing at this, thinking this was supposed to be deliberately funny, and as an adult, I was like, "Oh no, no, they're
Oh,
being
yeah,
serious at this
that's
point."
exactly it. I was like, they're trying to be serious, and this guy's going,
Amazing Grace.
as we heed the sound.
Yeah, or Inspector Todd. He was still my favorite character. Uh,
I tell you as well, that captain is dead, and not a single one of them have had an emotional reaction at this point. They're all just stood there, like,
no, no, you
oh,
see a few
well.
tears coming down Eddie Murphy's face, but yeah, then they just cut to immediately they're having a chat,
Just having a chat, like, so what do you think? All right, let's explain the plot to each other. Yep, okay, let's do that.
which
And the
they
guy
do
with the
indeed.
goatee is a terrible actor.
Yeah, pretty bad.
It's awful.
So at this point, yeah, Axel's saying this Fulbright guy is legit and the case is classified, but Axel doesn't want to close this down because he wants to find whoever killed Todd. But they don't have much evidence as the truck had phony license plate. Some of the gunmen had $30,000 in cash in them. The IDs found on some of the shooters were from San Diego, and that's linked to the tier one of drug dealers. But in one of those briefcases, there was a towel from the Wonderworld hotel, and you guessed it, in Beverly Hills. How does he always end up in Beverly Hills? The man lives in
They have,
Detroit.
that is miles away, literally miles away.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. But yeah, because oh, actually, no, I won't because that probably part of your Smith trivia. Right. So we also learned that the car from where Todd was shot was hired from the airport from a stolen ID from someone who had their wallet stolen in the Wonderworld theme park. I was like, you guys are fucking idiots. You're really
Yeah.
hot covering your tracks whatsoever, are you? Everything points towards Wonderworld.
Do you know what also would have covered your tracks quite nicely? If you'd have just paid those men. If you had $30,000 in cash on you, why didn't you just pay the men
Yeah,
rather
there
than
was
killing them all? There's a lot more effort goes into killing people. People are going. Do you know what people don't look for? A stolen truck. You know what people do look for? Someone who's murdered 12 people.
Well, yeah, and then they would have looked into what they were doing, and they saw they
Yeah,
stole a
yeah.
truck, and blah 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 blah. Blah. Ugh.
It's I don't understand this in films. Villains always have to think it's easier to kill people. It's not. It's much easier just to pay people.
Yeah,
It just that you're going to get found out eventually because you always will, but you're going to get found out a lot quicker if you go around murdering people all the time.
and also, why did Alistair Ward have to be there? He could have just sent a couple of hired people to go and sort that out for him. He didn't need to be there. But anyway,
In Detroit, we're
yeah,
going to
yeah,
drive
that's a
that
point.
truck back from Detroit.
All the way to
Well,
California. Like, yeah,
I'm
all right,
pretty sure. How far is it from Michigan to California?
pretty far. Yeah.
Yeah,
Right. Axel speaks to Todd's widow, and at first he lies about his last words, and then he tells the truth. But yeah, go get that son of a bitch. He goes, huh, that sounds like a good idea. And then boom, the Axel Foley theme, which I didn't realize was Niles Rodgers who did that. I was like,
it's not. It's
fuck.
not. It's not Nile Rodgers. It's Steve Faltermeyer did the original version. Steve Faltermeyer didn't come back for Beverly Hills Cop 2.
Oh,
Niles Rodgers did this version of it, which is a slightly funkier, bit weird version. I assume this is when Nile Rodgers was on all the drugs,
right.
because some of the music in this film is fucking terrible.
Yeah. Yeah, especially that Wonderworld theme tune we keep on hearing again and again and again.
Ooh.
Right, and then Axel's arrived at the Beverly Hills Police Department and he isn't getting anywhere with that automated system, so he's abandoned his car. I was like, you can't do that. You can't just leave your car outside a barrier and just fuck off. Even if
Again,
it's a rented car.
this sequence goes on so long and is never once funny.
Oh, even when he starts talking French to it and stuff.
No,
Yeah,
it's just like, oh fucking hell, get on with it.
yeah.
This
Uh,
might be me being a grumpy bollocks because I am a grumpy bollocks, but just again, this is the kind of thing where it's like I've seen Eddie Murphy in some good films, but it's just not good enough. I know reading about the production of this, John Landis was saying that when Eddie Murphy got to the set, he was like, "Oh no, Axel Foley's now more mature. He's not the
yeah,
wisecracking
yeah, yeah.
younger person anymore. So I don't want to be that funny." It's like, well, you mean you're never that funny, but it's why he comes across as being so low effort. Like, and that's the problem I have with this film. I think in the general, and we'll get to it as it goes on. It's so low effort. It's just so like, you know, oh, this they've left the town, the Wonderworld house in a suitcase. Oh, the guy had his wallet. I said, in Wonderworld. Oh, well, I guess we're going to Wonderworld. Oh, Jesus Christ. It's
Oh,
so
yeah.
lazy, so lazy.
That was the point as well. When Axel walks off to talk to the widow, the cops both look at each other and go, Wonderworld, like that. And I'm
Yeah.
like, you don't know that, but yes, you're right.
I mean, he's probably going to go somewhere else first, like, for a shit or
Yeah, something to eat. Yeah. Axel arrives at Billy Rosewood's office, who's now a sergeant, and he is a DDOJSIOC, which stands for Deputy Director of Operations for Joint Systems under Interdepartmental Operational Command. There you go.
he also jumps up and goes, Axel Foley. And I just wanted to go, again.
Yeah. I love the way, what are you doing it? Well, naturally, he's looking for a killer. He hasn't
Yeah,
just
that's
come
all
out
he
of his own health.
he's not a good friend. He doesn't come out to say hello.
No, no,
He only
I
comes
think,
out. He only comes out when he wants something.
yeah, because it's like 7 years difference between the last film. So are you telling me he hasn't spoken to him for 7 years? Right. And then also he has a really cool office which has a fridge in it. Very
Yes.
impressive. Yeah,
Even J. Edgar Hoover didn't have a fridge.
that's right.
J. Edgar Hoover joke. How current?
Oh yeah, he said like he might have had some like whips and chains or like
Yeah, yeah,
something else like, ugh. Yeah. Billy explains how he oversees various jurisdictions through LA and he controls the green lines. And I'm like, what is the point of all this? Like just
there's no point to all of this. It's the padding. It's padding.
yeah, Judge Reinhold doesn't do a lot in this.
He's
Uh,
got no. I've put that later. He's got. They clearly have nothing for him to do.
no.
It's sort of
And
there.
but this cracked me up even as a kid because we meet John Flint, who is pretty much exactly the same character as Taggart from the
I know.
first two
I
films.
put Taggart is retired and will not be appearing in this film. So here is a replacement character to fill the same role. He is also bald and has facial hair.
Pretty much like a knockoff Taggart.
Yeah,
Like,
he's exactly the same. It's like they just and I've read it it's because the guy John Ashton who plays
yeah,
Taggart could had something else on, so he couldn't be in the film. So they had to write a replacement character. And they just literally Control F, Control R.
yeah, yeah, yeah.
It's just like the same fucking character. They haven't even bothered. They really haven't bothered.
No, and also the Ronnie Cox character doesn't come back, but then he doesn't even get a mention. He's not like
No,
because I thought, oh, he might have died in Beverly Hills Cop 2. No, he doesn't die in Beverly Hills Cop 2. He's just not in this film, and they just
just
don't bother mentioning it.
Ronnie Cox was busy. Although there is a quote from Ronnie Cox where he says they asked me to be in it, but then I read the script.
Bravo, Ronnie Cox.
Oh, bravo!
Bravo. Um, Right, so Flint wants to know what Axel is doing here, and he explains he's looking for a killer specifically linked to Wonderworld. And then Flint says he knows someone called Alistair Ward, who's the head of security and operations, and he could arrange a meeting with Axel down there.
Hmm.
Axel arrives at Wonderworld, but there is no record of the meeting with Alistair Ward, so he was told he'll need to buy a $35 ticket, which outrages him. Now, for it now, this may have seemed excessive back in
Oh
1994,
yeah.
but from my understanding, a Disneyland entry ticket just for the entry is over excess of $100 just to get
Yeah,
in.
and in my experience, having been to Disney and Universal, you often can't buy a single day. You have to buy them in blocks. So you end up spending $300 or $400 to get 3 or 4 days worth of passes. You have to go through special brokers to get a single day ticket for some of these parks. They don't sell them.
Fucking hell.
You go to Universal, they sell you a 4 day or a week long ticket. So you have to buy a week's worth of tickets. Um, yeah, $35 is a fucking bargain. Also, this when you get to Wonderworld, like the view of Wonderworld, there's like a roller coaster. This was an obvious model because the roller coaster goes boop, boop.
Oh, really?
It just
I
goes
didn't spot
around
that.
several times. Yeah, I fucking did. And also, but how would this admittedly very attractive ticket attendant have all of this information? She is
About,
a about he doesn't have an appointment. He's not getting let in. It's like you are a ticket attendant at a theme park. They don't have any of this information. If you go to a ticket attendant theme park, oh, I've got an appointment with the head of security, but like, sorry, that's not. You need to go to customer services. What are you doing talking to me?
maybe they don't have customer services. Maybe the first point of call is for that. I don't know. Although I suppose they might just ring the security department. I was like, yeah,
Well,
yeah, you're right.
exactly. Yeah, she didn't have all
Yeah,
this information. I
fair
also did
enough.
note at some point. I think they have a rule in this park of only employing attractive women.
Well, of course. It's a thing, though.
It's Beverly Hills.
It is Beverly Hills. Uh,
Also, with this, they keep talking about Alistair Ward, but gee, I wonder who this Alistair Ward character might be.
yeah, yeah. After all that, the two security guards asked what the problem is, and Axel's angry at paying $35. So they're basically saying, well, unless you've got a meeting, like you got to pay it, which he does. And then he sees a pool.
That was a pointless exchange. All right,
Got in. Yeah, I thought it'd be something clever, like he might jump over the fence or something. Like, no, he just pays the money.
it's $35 and goes into the theme park.
Yeah. He sees a portrait of Uncle Dave and he's happy. And I'm like, no, look, you don't live in Beverly Hills, right?
Yeah,
You're not familiar with the theme park. How the fuck do you know who this Uncle Dave is?
I hate this shit in films where you have a fictional character like this that's beloved. No one's like Uncle Dave, and it's like no, no one talks like that. No one talks like that in real life. No one is like Walt Disney. Like no, that's not how people react to these kind of characters. You don't get people like that. That's not how the world works.
Yeah, no, bullshit, all of it. Right, Axel spots a security guard going into a tree door, so he follows. And then, as Axel is nosing around, walking down huge corridors, he sees a door for alien attack, and he's intrigued to go inside. Why? Why?
Yeah.
Why not alien attack? What's this? I think I'll go inside. And then,
Also, he's just wandering around in a secure area and nobody stopped him. I guarantee you, if you went to Disney, because they've got all of these tunnels under Disney, that's how the car, what they call the cast members or the
mm,
employees get around, is under like big blocked off areas and through tunnels. I
mhm.
guarantee you, if you got access to one of them, you'd be out of that park and
Oh
never
yeah,
allowed back.
there's quite a few things Axel does in this film that he wouldn't even get an inch to where he would needed to go like, no, 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 stop, stop that immediately.
Also, Alien Attack is just Earthquake from Universal Studios. It's literally an existing ride that they've put a couple of robots in.
It looks fucking cool. I love shit like that. It looks so good.
I don't think it exists anymore. It's
God
closed
damn it.
down.
Yeah, most of the things from Disney that I've seen videos of and shit, like, the Back to the Future ride, the Jaws
Ain't
ride, the
there no more.
Terminator 3D. It's like, oh man, never got to go on it.
The Jaws ride is still in Universal Osaka because I've been on
Yes,
it.
yes, yes.
Hmm.
We're fully aware of that. That cup makes an appearance every time we do this podcast.
Oh yes.
Right, we meet Janice, a ride operator, who does not question this stranger walking into the room. Nor at this point does he even say, I'm a cop. He just wanders in there and she's all right with this. Yeah, this ride does look cool. There's flames, there's water, there's earthquakes. It looks really, really good. But then after this demo, she goes, I'm sorry, why are you here? He goes, oh, I'm sorry, I've got to go. But thanks for the demo. It's like, he still hasn't revealed he's a cop.
I put actually put, excuse me, what are you doing in here? Surely a question you should have asked several minutes ago.
Yeah. And then we see that security guards are watching Axel walk along, and then he's shot at. So then Axel starts fighting with another guy and runs away. Why would they start shooting at him? Not everyone who works at Wonderworld is a criminal. Other people who are using
That's
that tunnel, like the
yeah.
characters all dressed up, like, what the fuck is going on down here?
Someone who works at the hot dog stand is just on a break. What the fuck?
It's gun for her.
Did one of the henchmen? It kind of looked to me like he dropped on him from the ceiling. What's he
Yeah,
doing up there?
it looked
What's he
really
doing up
high.
in the pipes?
Don't know. Yeah, he does jump down and doesn't break his legs. As Max was running for his life, we see some annoying train going along called the Happy Train. And then Axel runs towards the spider ride and he jumps in front of George Lucas and his wife. This is such an unnecessary cameo. And
There's a
also,
lot of cameos in this, though. It's the only one I ever noticed when I was a
yeah,
kid. I
me
didn't
too.
know who George Lucas was, but there are so many director cameos in this. Um, like tons of people. I'll tell you who a lot of them are later.
Yeah, do it
Um,
because I only spotted George Lucas because I've read who some of them are, but I didn't spot where
well,
they were.
can't really spot them. A lot of them are the old boys in the bar later on.
Ah, okay.
Um,
Got it.
yeah, I love the fact that Jordan Lucas after he gets pushed the foot against the wall, he goes, "Oh, let's just go." It's like, why just wait for the next one?
That's what I've written down as well.
Yeah. Oh, let's just leave. That's no, the whole day's ruined.
We've queued up for 45 minutes, but we're just going to walk off now to queue up 45 minutes for another ride. You idiot. Yeah, that bothered me as well. And then the security guards spot Axel when he's waving them at the ride. They run at the ride. One of them steps on that train, and the train goes, ah! I don't know why. Even as a kid, that cracked me up, and it cracked me up again. Why would the train scream? Bloody shit. Uh, right, and then
There's some annoying kids in the ride waving at their mum, and I'm like, "You fucking little pricks! Your mum's put you on that ride so she can get 5 minutes of peace. She doesn't
yeah.
need you going, Mum, look up here." It's like, "Fucking, yeah, I know you're up there. I'll put you up there.
Stshe
Stay up
wants
there and stay bloody quiet.
she
Want to
wants a
have a
cup of
cigarette?
yes, a cup of coffee and a cigarette and be quiet.
Want 5 minutes where you're not fucking talking at
Yeah.
me? Just 5 minutes."
I haven't had that pleasure of taking my son to a theme park. Can't wait. Right. The security guards order the operator to stop the ride. They start messing around with a few levers, and for some reason that causes the
It's
entire ride
like,
to malfunction. Come to a complete halt.
I think health and safety inspectors have a fucking day, a day of it at this place. They'd have a field day. I mean, Christ alive, it just easily destructible control panels. Oh no! And then wires start breaking because all right,
Cogs falling off and everything. So why is this
it
happening?
falls, it falls apart immediately.
Yeah. And then we get a code red alert from Janice, and it lights up in Billy's office at the police station. Oh, because that's why he's going on about that green line, so he can monitor the entire
Mm.
California. And then he immediately realizes that's probably got something to do with Axel, so runs out. And then we get more malfunctioning for some reason. And then two kids are hanging out there. Pod's like, why are the kids hanging out the pod? Did the malfunction cause the security lock to break on the door?
Or the manual lock to just come undone. Also, those kids have amazing upper body strength. I'd be dead in seconds.
Yeah,
If I
yeah,
I'd be like, no, I'm dead now.
yeah. They're hanging on for a good few minutes.
Yeah.
And then we see that Axel's easily able to open his pod as well, presumably, yeah, the security lock. And then he starts jumping across all the pods. Now, I fucking love that bit when I was a kid. I
Mm.
thought that bit was so cool, especially as well. Some of it does look practical. Like, some of it's obviously a green screen with Eddie Murphy, but it looks like there is a
Yeah, he's
stuntman
got
actually
an
doing
obvious
that.
stunt double, but jumping around. Now, this bit is burned into my memory. This is one of the bits of the film that I
Yeah,
absolutely remember. Like this whole sequence. Um, uh, but what I didn't remember was every time they cut back to the crowd, who are blankly staring and not making any noise and not making any facial expression. They just stood there like,
yeah,
ah. It's like should be horrified. It's like they've been
yeah,
given absolutely no direction about how they're supposed to react. They're like, something's happening over there. Look.
yeah, yeah. You can only imagine that they're so like stunned with what's going on, but no, let's not give them that much credit.
Also, the music during this sequence is fucking terrible. You can just
Dun,
hear the music under
dun,
it.
dun, 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 dun,
Yeah,
dun,
but
dun, dun.
ding, ding, and then someone in the back going, "Ba-ba, ba-ba, ba-ba, ba-ba."
I didn't mind
It's
the
the most
music in this bit.
90s thing ever. I was watching it with Hannah and she was kind of half asleep. She woke up and, the fuck is this music? I was like, it's Nile Rodgers,
It's Nile Rodgers.
one of the greatest songwriters of all time. And he's done this.
I really didn't mind it. I loved all of this scene. Didn't mind the music. I didn't mind the action. I thought it was all very, very cool. Right, at this point, Flint hears on the car radio and also knows it must be Axel's and makes his way to Wonderworld. And then Axel manages to get to the middle part of the ride, gets some cable, and he uses it to slide down at the pod of the kids. And I've written down, this would rip his hands to shreds. Like, he's not wearing
He,
gloves. He's got no, like, clip to get into it. He's just literally holding it and sliding down with it.
there's one bit as well in a second where he's got one of the little girls hanging around his neck and he's reaching out to get the boy holding onto this rope with one hand. It's like
Yeah,
he'd be dead.
yeah,
There's
yeah,
no physical way that would be possible.
yeah. Agreed. The kids grab onto him and they manage to get to the ground just before the pod falls on them. And there is a funny bit when all this is happening. Suddenly, one of the costume characters just like covers up some kid's eyes. That was funny, like that. But yeah, they get out just in time. And then this when all the crowd goes, "Ah!" and then cheers and erupts. And then, yeah, Axel's immediately accosted by the security guards. And then we meet John Saxon. Yay! Called Orion Sanderson. No, Orin Sanderson. What the fucking awful. We've got Alistair Ward and Orin Sanderson.
These threatening villains. So to be fair, I've forgotten. I hadn't forgotten John Saxon was in it. I've forgotten John Saxon was a bad guy because they keep that relatively ambiguous almost all the way
Yeah,
through.
yeah, yeah.
It's actually quite nice, isn't it? Oh, I've forgotten he was a villain. I just thought he was useless.
Just playing another cop like he does in every other movie.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Yeah. He doesn't understand why Axel was here, and then Janice comes in with the security tapes, but they've clearly been altered as there's no footage of anyone shooting him, but footage of Axel shooting only. And Janice says, "Oh, that's tracking fuzz, as the cameras are all on one loop." And I've written down, "What?"
again, again, how does she have all of this information? Where did she learn to act? Because she needs her money back. She's awful in this film. She's
Yeah,
terrible. Um, like also, it's like they've edited the footage in the most crude way possible, where it's like he's walking, fuzz, he's firing his gun at someone, fuzz. It's like, oh, like I see nothing suspicious happening here.
he's like, "Who the fuck do you think I was shooting at?" I was like, "Yeah, he makes a good point."
Yeah.
Um, yeah, and then Janice says, "Oh, the video footage also doesn't show that he saved two children." And then John Saxon's like, "How do we know he didn't cause the malfunction? How?
How?
Why?"
How would he have done that?
Yeah.
He's there with like a wrench.
At this point, Alistair Ward comes in and Axel recognises him immediately. He tries to beat the shit out of him, and naturally, DeWald denies it, saying he was at his beach house in Laguna last weekend. And Axel, "Oh, you're in your house in Big. Oh, okay." "Oh, you motherfucker!" Then goes to beat him up again.
I will say Alistair Ward's hair is spectacular.
Yeah, it's wonderful. Yeah, yeah. I've never realised actually he does look very similar to Judge Reinhold, but they don't share much screen time. But yeah, you're right.
No.
Flint and Billy arrive and can't believe Axel thinks it's Ellis. So then Ellis tells Flint to keep Axel away from the park. And then isn't there some shit where Flint is like trying to get a job at Wonderworld, but as
Yeah,
what,
it's
like head
not
of
really.
security or something?
Yeah, it's not really well developed. Just sort of happens.
Yeah, yeah,
It's because they needed something for Flint to do. Flint is pointless. I don't
yeah,
know why he's even in this film. You don't need him.
yeah. You could have had less of him and more of the Billy character, Judge Reinhold's
Yeah, well,
character.
also if you don't have uh, what's the name Taggart,
Taggart. Yeah,
then we don't need to replace him.
yeah, yeah. It just seems like they were just following the formula of the first two
Yeah,
movies. We cut to a Hawaiian bar with Axel, Billy, and Flint, and this looks cool, and I want to go. And then I love gimmicky shit like that. Billy reveals that Ellis is getting an award tonight, and Axel wants to know where Ellis is getting that award, and he's going to put some pressure on him. And Billy goes, "I'm going with you." I'm like, "Oh, I'm sure all of this is going to go to plan,
the
isn't it?"
the National Association of Security Agents Award. This film isn't even fucking trying. It's so lazy. It's just like, oh, here's another way you can interact with him. Why not? Fine. Why do any police work? Here's just a piece of information. Let's go there now.
Yeah, yeah. But before that, Axel goes to his motel and sees someone is in his room, but it's just Uncle Dave and Janice.
How does Uncle Dave know where he's staying? Why is he here? Why is she here? Why is she involved at all? Like, what's happening? What is her relation to Uncle Dave? Why has he brought her along?
Yeah,
None of this makes any sense.
Uncle Dave wants to know what's going on in his park based on what? Oh, yeah, no, it's because that letter that he got. But yeah, you're right.
Also,
What?
Uncle Dave is. Why is he coming to speak? How does he know where he's staying? How has he worked any of this out? It doesn't make any sense.
Yeah, because
Also,
Axel's not even told Janice where he's staying. He had a brief conversation with her, an alien attack, and that was it.
yeah, Uncle Dave is also terrible in this.
He's the guy who voiced Scrooge McDuck, Alan
Yes, and
Young.
he was in Mr. Ed, the TV.
Oh,
He was the human leader of the Mr. Ed TV series,
there you go. He's
which
also in
I've
the
never
Time Machine,
watched.
the original one.
Oh,
Yeah.
but he's not very good in this.
No, no, he's not.
He can't be. He just can't even be bothered to read the lines properly.
No. So he explains 2 weeks ago, Roger Fry, the park COO, disappeared, and Uncle Dave shows him a note that Roger left him, and it says, "This is important, life and death, Roger." Why couldn't you just write down what actually happened?
Yeah, if you've got enough time to write that, you've got enough time to write a bit more.
Exactly. But Uncle Dave has no idea what it means, but Axel deduces that Roger found something that someone didn't want him to find, as he knows the park inside out, having designed it. So, like, right, cool, good deduction.
Right. Hmm.
Right. At the award ceremony, Billy's jealous that Axel got to meet Uncle Dave, and then they run into Serge, who is from Beverly Hills Cop Part 2, and now
One.
he's
No,
selling
it's
guns.
the first one.
I thought he was the second one.
No, I don't think it's the second one. He's the first one.
Oh, yeah, he was the art gallery guy, wasn't he? Yeah,
Yeah.
okay. Maybe it was. I remembered it being the second one. All right, it's the first one. But yeah, he
And
sells guns now.
he's shoehorned into this for some reason.
Yeah.
But I don't mind because he's the funniest thing in it by a country mile.
Aquel. Aquel.
I do think he is very funny.
Yeah. Yeah. Although my wife pointed out this man is not French. He's
No,
trying to
God,
be
no, he's
French.
American.
He's
He's
not
American.
French.
He's also he's Bronson Pinchot. He's made a career of playing um, foreign characters. He was on a TV sitcom. I can't remember the name, but he played a character called Balky,
Mm.
and he yeah, he was like a foreign. He was also in the late. There was a Netflix crime series called The Residents, where
Mm.
he um also played a French character. Like he's always doing it. He's always doing an accent.
Okay, it's funny.
I also
Uh,
enjoyed the way he pronounced boutique.
how does he say
Boutiquois. Boutiquois. It's very funny.
it? So Serge gives him a demonstration of the Annihilator 2000 gun, which is a machine gun, a microwave oven, a mobile phone, a video camera, and a CD player. But then Serge sells hundreds of these across LA. He's like, "Get the fuck out of here!" He goes, "I cannot."
It's also again, they're not escaping the RoboCop 3 vibes that I'm getting from this. There's also the bit where he's talking to Axel and he's explaining something, and then he just randomly says, "Also, I never seen him in a pair of pants that fit." It's like,
Yeah,
but like to do with nothing. That's very good. The man is just ad-libbing away and having a great time.
because then he starts going on about colonics. He goes, "Oh, really? Because you'll see a candy bar from when you were 5." Eddie Murphy's like, "What the fuck?" And then he also gives them both a key change called a stunner, which sends out a bright light when pressed. And I wrote down, I wonder if this is
I
going to
also
come
said,
back.
"Why is he Q?"
Yeah, he was an art gallery person
Yeah,
in the other movie. Right. And then the award ceremony begins, and Santon's giving a speech and then presents Alice with the award. And as everyone's clapping and cheering, suddenly Axel starts clapping and cheering facetiously, and then starts going on and commending him until Ellis makes some sort of remark about shooting his boyfriend, and they start fighting. And I've written down the instant Axel would start walking towards that stage, he would have been tackled down to the ground. Why?
or in America, shot.
Yes, or shot. And then for some reason, Billy's been avoiding all this the whole time hiding behind a plant, but now he gets involved and they all fall in front of a table in front of him. It's like, oh,
Would you really have a gala this big for Private Law Enforcement Man of the Year?
no,
It's, it's a very specific award with a lot of people in attendance
yeah, yeah,
for the
quite
head of
bizarre.
security at a theme park.
Why does that need an award?
My dad was head of security at Kent County Cricket Ground. Maybe,
Maybe
maybe he
he's due an
deserves an
award.
award.
Yeah, absolutely, absolutely.
I mean, he is also an international fake money smuggler. So
But there's that too. Yeah. Flint gets a call from Axel in jail. Flint's finding all this very funny, and Axel says, "Can you get us out of jail?" I was like, I don't think that's how it works. You don't
now,
just know
also, would a
someone that.
policeman who's been arrested not lose their job?
Well,
I'm pretty
exactly.
sure if you're a policeman, you get arrested, you lose your job.
There's a lot of this
Also,
in
I
movies.
think this is where one of the cameos comes. The jailer that lets him out, I believe, is Joe Dante.
Oh, okay. Well, I'll have to go back and watch a third time, see if I can spot. Right. Flint also says that they've traced that truck they were looking for. It's now in the Santa Monica beach, and he tells Axel not to take any showers in the meantime because he might get raped.
Yes,
Billy is sad and thinks he's going to lose his office. He probably will. And then,
mm.
yeah, Axel is released, but not Billy, and he's greeted in the office by Fulbright. And Fulbright tells Axel he knows what he's up to, but he needs to back off. And this is still a federal investigation, and Axel is screwing this up, damn it. And then he gives him a
I'm not a villain.
absolutely not a villain. And then Fulbright gives him a first class air ticket back to Detroit and also his card so he can contact him about any info. Why? He's just told him to stay the fuck away and go back to Detroit. What new information is he going to uncover about Ellis DeWald? Right. Anyway, so Foley pretends he'll be on that plane to Detroit, and then Axel Flint and Billy are on their way to Santa Monica to inspect that truck that was located. And they arrive at the beach. Various other police cars turn up and open it, and of course it's empty. Like that's the end of that. I'm like, but what would they? Obviously, the merch has been moved. It wouldn't still be in that
Yeah.
truck, would it?
What do they think they were going to find? It was obviously going to be nothing.
Yeah,
The only thing that could have been in that truck is a bomb, and then you've surrounded it with people,
that would have
including
been
for
a
some
better
reason
twist.
Baywatch.
Yeah, exactly. That would have been a better twist if they'd opened the door and blew up and like killed a lot of cops or something. But yeah, no, no,
Yeah.
just open it and
No,
there's
no,
nothing in there. Yeah.
nothing. No.
And then Axel's going through some forensics. I'm like, hang on, what's this from? That would have made more sense if there was an explosion. But he's going through some forensics and he finds a piece of paper with a number on it. And that's when he compares it with a $50 bill and notices it's got a serial number. I'm like, but I don't understand what this crap was he was investigating. Was it just shit in the back
I'm
of the
just,
van?
I think it was shit in the back of the van. Yeah, like dust and like,
Right, right.
collected detritus from the back of the van.
Okay. All right. And then back at Wonderworld the next day, and the security guards are on
Just
alert for
waltz back
Axel.
in.
Ah,
Just
but this
waltz
time
back in.
he's dressed as Okie Dokie the elephant. Okie Dokie the
But
elephant. I can only presume Janice organised this because he ain't just
yeah,
going to walk
must
in
have
and get
because
changed.
yeah.
Yeah. I always loved this bit when I was a kid. A little kid spots him and wants to say hello, and then his brother starts being a real prick. So Axel shouts at him, and then he punches him, and then you hear Axel go, "Oh, you little motherfucker! I'll kick your ass!" And then he just pushes him in the fountain. He's like, "Grandma, Okie push me!" And he just licks it. And again, it's a really silly scene. There's no need for it, but I fucking loved it when I was a kid. Except versions I've seen, I didn't hear him here say, "Oh, you little motherfucker, I'll kick your ass." That's pretty floppy. To the underground part, all the characters are playing cards and they're all wearing their masks for some reason. Like, why are they all
Yeah.
wearing their masks?
I mean, it's really convenient for an undercover cop that all of the mascots keeping their entire costumes on.
Yeah,
But in reality, I doubt that they would do that and would want to get out of it as humanly possible. It must stink like arse in there.
absolutely. And then Janice thinks that one of the Okie Dokies is Axel, but it isn't. But then Axel arrives, so then Janice
It's
shows Axel
pointless.
some,
It's
yeah, completely
pointless.
pointless. Janice shows Axel some plans in the control room, and we learn that Ellis put Janice down in the security spot, but as long as she has a computer, she can access what's in the main frame. I've read down, okay then.
I've written that down and written down. What are you even talking about? What are you even talking about?
Nonsense. Janice reveals there is a part of the park called the Happy Forest, which is temporarily closed as it's being renovated, so it's off limits. And Axel wants to see where it is. And then for some reason, Janice starts being really attracted to Axel all of a sudden, and we get shit flirting.
Yeah, she was like, "How long's it been closed?" She was like, "Too long." He's like, "I was talking about the thing." It's like, "I was talking about my vagina." um, I mean, this is what I mean. Like, it's it's similar to every part of the investigation. This love story, this love interest, something that gets thrown in there. They're not even trying. There's no
No,
reason for this to happen. It's not set up. There's no reason for her to be involved in any of this. Like,
no.
why is she involved?
Oh, because we get a bit of stakes later on, like when he's got to
She
go back to the pub.
works at a theme park.
Yeah. Yes, it's true. And then Axel asks her out on a date when all this is over. That makes Janice happy because remember, an elephant never forgets. Right. So then Axel ditches the costume after speaking to the real Louis again. The point, and he gets all John McClane in the air vent to get to the Happy Forest area. It's like, oh fuck's sake, let's.
You can tell this was written by written by the same person who wrote fucking Die Hard.
Yeah. But also Street Fighter. Yep.
Yeah, I know
Yeah,
he's done some shit.
yeah, he has.
Oh, it's our
After,
second Stephen E. D'Souza film.
yeah. I mean, we might have done more and not even realised, but yeah, you're right. It is at least second.
Yeah, I'm gonna...
After snooping around, he sees from a walkway above that Ellis's people are printing off counterfeit money. Then they spot Axel on a very conveniently placed mirror. So why is it there?
How did he fail to notice that he was in a mirror? Oh,
Oh fucking hell! And Ellis alerts his security team to start fighting with Axel. Like, why don't they just shoot him? Why doesn't
yeah,
one of them just go bang? He'll
because
fall down.
they've shown absolutely no concern about letting their guns fire in a theme park.
Oh
They've every time they tried to shoot him, they miss. That's probably why they didn't do it because they've just missed wildly.
yeah,
Um, Also, they have the advantage, and he still handily beats them.
yeah. It swings down
These
from a light and everything.
these men who are double his size, and
Yeah.
they are incapable of fighting him.
And they have machine guns. Yeah. And then Axel flees up a ladder next on a stage. Some characters are giving a show. I fucking love this bit. I still love it now. I loved it as a kid. He comes on and starts going, just dancing around. Then he dances off the stage. He didn't need to do it. He could have just jumped off the stage and ran. He just dances off. Always loved that. Always will. Right, anyway. Axel it's been so stupid as well. Axel tries to make a phone call, but a bloke in front of him's on the phone. Now, I couldn't work out if this was part of the script or the kid actor was just hitting Eddie Murphy and they just kept it in.
Yeah, I couldn't work that out.
Yeah. But anyway, finally that guy fucks off and he calls Fulbright. One of the security guards shoots at Eddie Murphy and it smashes the glass. And I've put down, no, look, say they did hit Axel and they killed him. There's going to be a dead man in the middle of the theme
I
park.
know. Why are you opening fire in the Why did you then he killed a kid?
Yeah, exactly. And then once the glass is shot, Axel goes, "Fuck, man, get out of here now." I was written down. Why? Fulbright wasn't at the park. Why is he telling Fulbright to get the fuck out of there? Oh. Anyway, Janice sees what's going on through the monitors and calls the police, and then Axel starts trying to hide in a carousel. Then Flint hears on the radio that it's Axel again, so he makes his way to Wonderworld.
Oh, this bit of film goes, why am I not surprised? And then takes both of his hands off the wheel of the car. It's like they cut too late. He puts the car, the siren up on top, and then just sits there with both his hands off the wheel. It's like
I didn't even spot that.
cut, edit.
Terrible, terrible at it. The security guard's closing on Axel, and he sees they have guns, so he fires his own gun upwards and surrenders because I presume he's fearing for everyone's safety. I'm like, but I don't think they would have opened fire on him. They probably just would
Also,
have.
don't fire your gun directly up in the air. You know, those bullets have to come down somewhere.
Right.
People
Yeah.
get killed with that shit 'cause people randomly fire bullets into the air and they come down and they kill people.
Yeah. Maybe not as fast as normal, but it's still gonna, fucking kill you. Yeah. Whilst all this is going on, a guest with a video camera is filming all of this because, why not? He's even filming it before he buys the gun. So, oh, what's going on here?
Eddie Murphy.
Yeah. In the security office, Ellis enters shortly, followed by Flint, and Axel explains he's onto Ellis's operation. Then Fulbright then arrives as Ellis and Foley are trying to fight each other. And Axel tells Fulbright he's found what he's looking for, and they're printing counterfeit money right here in Wonderworld. So when they go and see it, they realise that no, it's not counterfeit money. They're simply printing Wonderworld dollars. Oh, isn't that convenient? They switched it. And at this point, Axel deduces that Sanderson, John Saxton's character, is also in on this scam, not just Ellis.
Mm.
Then Fulbright tells Axel in private that he's fucked everything up and he's blown the case. Damn it, Axel, now you're going back to Detroit. So he already did send him back to Detroit and he
Yeah,
didn't
it's the
listen.
second time they've sent him back to Detroit. It didn't work. Again, if you're a villain, you have him alone in a room with nobody there. You could just kill him
Yep.
and this would all be over for you. What is that Bond level villains are like incompetence?
No. But this makes no sense either because as Axel leaves, Ellis tells his men to make sure that Axel doesn't get on the plane. I've written down, but why? At this point, the case has been blown. They've
Yeah,
got away with it, essentially. No one believes Axel. That's it. Job done. Why'd you have to? If you kill Axel, you're going to alert attention that he's now dead.
yeah. Again, this comes back to the point I made earlier. Killing people creates a lot more of a headache than not killing people.
Exactly. Flint is driving Axel to the airport, and Axel notes they're being followed by Ellis's security guards. And he fakes something terrible, so Flint stops the car and he can run for his life. But at this point, out on the street, of all fucking places, Axel has made a call to Uncle Dave to come and meet him so they can have a conversation in the street. Why?
Uncle Dave, who I've got to assume is a multi-millionaire who owns his own theme park, is just driving about by
Yeah,
himself in an
yeah,
old car. You know,
yeah.
he doesn't have security. He doesn't have a driver. No. He's just driving around. I tell you,
Driving
this
his...
Uncle Dave gives me big whiffs of the Toy Story owner from Home Alone 2,
Yes.
but not as good.
Are you sure it's not the same actor?
No, no, it's not the same actor, not at all.
Yeah. But now
But
you
it's the
pointed that
same
out, I see
vibe.
it. Yeah, yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. Underworld's a place of childhood innocence and fun. Yeah. And then as they're talking, Axel then realizes the note that Uncle Dave gave him feels like money and he sees a serial number in it. And then they work out that Roger discovered sample money paper and he sent it to Uncle Dave to warn him. Why he couldn't have been a bit more explicit in his instructions, but I don't know.
I mean, he left it for him. He wasn't like writing in a hurry before he was killed. He left it for him.
Hmm.
He had time.
Yeah, absolutely had time.
But, dear Dave,
I trust this fight you well.
little thing, just want to bring up.
Yeah. Then we see out of nowhere, Ellis and his two henchmen have tracked them down and standing right behind them.
I tell you, at this point, I noticed that the main kind of black henchman that he has with him, like the really big guy,
Mm.
he's got one facial expression, and it's sulky teenager.
Yeah. Yeah, he doesn't get to do much. Apparently, Ellis knew Axel would call Uncle Dave, so they followed him. Why? Why?
Why?
Why would you be? And he goes, I used to be a cop, so I know how you arseholes work. I was like, what if you presume wrong?
But also, what does that mean? What are you gonna do? You're gonna call an old man? when when in trouble, most cops will call the oldest man they know.
Yeah. Ellis leads Uncle Dave away, then shoots Uncle Dave with Axel's gun, and he does this while giving a James Bond villain speech. Like, this is how the real story goes. Blah, blah, blah. I was like, oh my God, like, why don't you just shoot them both? Just be easier. Why go for all this pretense?
I
Uh,
don't get it.
Axel, but then equally, Axel manages to fight off the henchman, and he puts a gun to Ellis, but then he drives off in Uncle Dave's car. I was like, why don't you just fucking shoot Ellis? You're banged to
Well, because
rights. He's
he's a
just shot someone.
policeman, and if you're a policeman, you're not going to shoot someone execution style in the back of the head.
No,
There
true.
might be an investigation.
That's true. Yeah, so Axel drives off with Uncle Dave in the car, and cops are giving chase, but Axel manages to get Dave to hospital. And then suddenly news comes on the police station that they're looking for Axel. So then he flees, and then suddenly news of this shooting spreads like fucking wildfire
Also,
all over Beverly Hills.
he walks past those two cops and asks for like where the coffee machine is, and he goes, and
Yeah.
then it comes out, we're looking for a black man, and they both go, it's like, it's how do you assume it's this black man? It could be any number of black people. Why have you immediately gone? Well, I just saw a black man, and I think it might be him.
And then it doesn't get better because in a minute, Axel walks past someone and goes, hey, did you hear some black guy shot Uncle Dave? Why did it have to be some black guy? Why can't it just be some guy shot Uncle Dave? Then Axel goes into some Ponzi restaurant with a bloke at the front desk has a ridiculous ponytail and I've written down, what an absolute prick. It's all the way down his back.
It's the 90s. It's the 90s.
Oh,
Fucking decade that
horrible.
taste forgot.
And also,
Awful.
everyone in this restaurant is an old fart. And I've written down all sugar daddies, no doubt.
Well, so this is where I was watching this, and I was like, that has got to be people. That has got to be famous people
Yeah,
there. It has to be. And I think one of them is Walter Hill, the director
right.
of The Warriors, I think 48 Hours.
Hmm.
I think one of them's Ray Harryhausen, I think.
Oh, okay.
So yeah, so because I saw all these old guys in like
Yeah,
suits, and I was like, these are all old filmmakers. They've got to absolutely got to be.
yeah.
There's also, I didn't know if you noticed this, but there was one guy in the bar that I couldn't take my eyes off him. He's like an extra, but he's got the whitest, biggest hair.
No.
No, just go back
Yes,
and
yes.
rewatch it. It's
Yes,
the
I did. Yeah,
whitest
yeah,
hair.
yeah, yeah.
It's like, what is that? It's like Andy Warhol's crept in the background.
It's quite spectacular, though.
It was.
Yeah,
It's so distracting.
yeah. And of course, everyone at this bar is talking about Uncle Dave being shot because they got nothing else to talk about. It's
Well, I mean, it's the 90s before smartphones. What else are you going to be doing?
true. And the TV switched on the exact moment a news report is talking about Uncle Dave, and already the news report has a motive for Axel doing this. He's doing this out of revenge. Wait, what? Who's leaked this fucking news?
Revenge for what? Did he get diddled by Dave?
Maybe. Axel was on the phone to Janice at Wonderworld, but that rascal Ellis is already one step ahead, and he's on the phone. Like, fucking hell, he got to Wonderworld quick. Like, 1 minute he just shot Uncle Dave, now he's back at Wonderworld. He tells Axel to come to Wonderworld alone and unarmed with the evidence. And in that TV footage shows Axel shooting his gun at Wonderworld, everyone, and everyone turns around to look at the black man on the phone. So outside the restaurant, Axel pretends to be a valet driver and steals some rich dude's car. And then Axel goes to meet Serge to get a gun, and he takes the display model of the Annihilator 2000. I knew that was going to come back.
Yeah.
Uh, Axel calls Billy at the police station, and Billy tells him to turn himself in. But then he says he's going to meet him at Wonderworld. It's like, that makes you an accomplice, Billy. Like,
Yeah, they really didn't have a lot for Judge Reinhold to do in this film, did they?
no,
He's barely been in it for the last half an hour. He just sort of turns up again. Like, oh, I'm still in this film.
yeah, yeah. Axel dumps the gun over the fence at Wonderworld and then arrives at the front gates and he's met by security guards. And then we see more counterfeit money's being printed. And then Axel and Ellis are negotiating about letting Janice go. But then Ellis believes the evidence is in the car parked outside. So he asks for the keys to the car. And of course, Axel's got the stunner. He does that and then
Yeah,
gets the bright light and then it puts a gun to Ellis's head. They've written down, just shoot Ellis. Just shoot him.
yeah.
Just let him
At this point, at
self-defense.
this point, you'd be all right. Yeah, I think.
Yeah, yeah. Billy arrives and flings himself at Ellis and another bloke over a table for some reason.
How did Billy A get there so quickly, and B know exactly where to go to find them?
And even be let in. Like it's not like
Yeah,
they've left the gates at the front open, is
people
it?
are wandering in and out of this theme park.
Yeah.
Like, I don't know. If I got into my car now and drove down to Thorpe Park, I don't reckon I'm just going to waltz in through the front door.
No,
But hold on, might I?
might I? If I go at night. Yeah. Everyone is fighting, but then Billy and Janice are trapped in a room with cold air blasting down. Like, sorry, what was that cold air for? What's the point of all that?
Yeah, and why do they then move directly into the middle of the room? He literally grabs her and just like walk into the center of it. It's like, why have you done that?
Weird. And the fight then turns into a gunfight. And then during this gunfight, the control panel is shot, which somehow activates all the park's rides and lights. I've written down, what?
Why?
That's not how theme parks work. Um, Axel escapes the room and temporarily traps them inside and tries to make a call to outside line, but a gunshot at the line stops that immediately. You don't know, but all the security guards are eating popcorn outside for some reason.
Why are all the security guards villains? Surely it wouldn't be all of them.
Yeah, some Death Star shit going on. I don't know.
Hmm.
Janice says something about a modem line for computers is in the room with them,
Oh,
and Billy says we can just keep calling Flint's pager. I'm like, wait, what?
what? How would you even do that? From a modem, not a telephone. Doesn't have a dial pad. It's a modem. You're
Yeah,
not going to be able to dial somebody's phone on a modem.
yeah, and you
It's
don't
not how
call.
modems work.
And also, correct me if I'm wrong, a pager, you had to actually phone someone who wrote down the message and sent it to your pager. You don't ring
I
someone's
don't know
pager.
how pages work. It's 2026, Stu.
I know.
I
They
would
were
have been
shit.
9. I didn't have a pager.
My dad had one, they were shit. But yeah, they're just like a very primitive text message service, but yeah, it was crap. Anyway, so Sanderson activates all the cameras, sees Axel's retrieving the Annihilator gun in Hometown Square, and then Axel takes cover as he's being shot. There is a funny bit where every time he's trying to activate the gun, like different things happen. Like a net shoots off, it plays some rap music, it plays
Is
some
it
other
a,
silly song.
was it a net? Is that what fired?
Yeah, I think that's what it was. Yeah.
Oh, because I've never, even now watching it, and I remember things as a kid, I was watching like, what is that supposed to be? It looks like weeds, like just
No,
some hair or something.
no, it's a bit like, do you remember that bit in The Running Man when Arnie's running along, they shoot
Yeah,
that
yeah.
net gun? It's like that, except
Right, but that makes sense. I've never understood that. Even as a kid, when I watched this all the time, I never understood it.
there you
That
go.
makes sense. Also, would hiding behind a bench with slats provide adequate gunfire
No.
cover?
There was even that bit in the beginning bit with the shootout, the mechanics, and
Yeah, they're
the
all behind
hiding
the
behind the
car. It's like you'd
gun.
be
I was
dead.
like, you'd
You'd
all
be
be dead.
dead.
Yeah,
I don't think a car's going to stop a bullet from a sub-automatic machine gun.
no,
Somehow, don't think that would work.
yeah. But finally
And
he gets
again,
the
why are the henchmen not just shooting him? They
yeah.
then
When
walk around like in to either side of him, where they could clearly just kill the motherfucker, and they just don't do it.
no, they don't. They let him do this charade of trying to get the gun to work. But then finally it does work because he shoots him and it fires off a missile as well. And I'm like, but then he just puts the Annihilator down. I was like, it might still have ammo in it. Why have you got rid of it?
Yeah, I did one of them where he just threw away the grenade launcher that he has.
Yeah,
That might come in handy.
exactly. But then he retrieves a gun from a dead guard and heads towards alien attack. And the guards follow him in, and Axel activates the ride, which causes them to be crushed, burned, and flooded with water. And then there is a funny bit when he's hiding behind a dead body. They've gone up that
Yeah,
way, and they
that was
go up, and
clever.
all the water came down. I don't think the water killed them. It would probably just be a mild inconvenience.
It'd just be a bit damp.
Yeah.
Oh, my pants are damp. That's ruined. The whole day's ruined.
Flint gets the trace that the call keeps is coming from Wonderworld, and then the last person he's the last person in Beverly Hills to find out that Uncle Dave has been shot. Because the
How does
fireman
he
goes,
not
"Hey,
know?
Uncle Dave got shot. Uncle Dave's been shot."
How does he not know he's a policeman?
Yeah, no sense. In the Happy Forest again, some funny bit where oh yeah, there's a guy who's got a broken nose. Every time he opens the door, Axel keeps punching him, which is funny. And then Axel starts dicking around with a counterfeit money computer, and I've written down, I wonder what he did.
Yeah, I wonder where he had time, how he had the time or the knowledge to do what he does.
No, no. It's a shit gag, but it doesn't make any sense. Axel enters the land of dinosaurs ride, is pursued by Ellis and a couple more security guards, and then Ellis turns on the lights and ride, and then Billy smashes the window with a chair, and him and
Yeah, it
Jess
turns out that
escape.
glass was easily breakable.
Yeah, they could have done that much earlier rather
Yeah,
than
yeah.
freeze to death and piss about calling pages. And then Sanderson finds that Axel's made some money that says "kiss my ass" on it. I've written down, where did he find a
How?
photo of
When?
himself to insert on
Yeah.
the money? Like, and then Sanderson is angry and he gets shot by an unseen person. I'm like, I can only deduce who did that later on. I'm
Oh,
like, but
yeah.
why did it have
But
to be unseen?
I could deduce who did it before I found out he was a villain, because I'd already assumed he was a villain, and I'd already assumed that he was the person who shot him, because he still wanted to be a suspense when he turns up at the end as like, he is the Secret Service guy. Yes,
Yeah,
clearly, all the way through.
yeah, yeah. Billy's outside and shoots a guard dead, followed by another, and starts pretending to be a Wild West sheriff, and then he's shot big time. I'm like, oh, he would have been
When
dead.
he's pretending to be the the sheriff, pretending to be the Wild West sheriff, where's that come from? At no point has he said at any point in this film he wants to be a
No.
cowboy or anything like that. It's just suddenly, oh fuck it, we've got nothing for him to do. So,
Yeah, it's not even like a trait he did in Beverly Hills Cop 1 or 2. No, no,
no.
no. Flint
I mean, the
arrives.
henchmen really are fucking useless.
Well, they are, because at this point, one of them's in a cable car, and
Why?
Flint arrives, just shoots one out of it. There is a funny bit, though, that after he does that, he goes, turn that fucking song off.
I mean, yeah, you and me both, mate. By this point, I was like, I don't want to hear that fucking song again.
I mean, when I was a kid, I couldn't stop laughing at that bit, but yeah, that song's so annoying. Um, Back on the dinosaur ride, Axel shoots another guard dead, and then Ellis arrives and shoots Axel in the shoulder, which seems to have no effect on him whatsoever. Axel then fights with Ellis and it breaks free, and then Ellis shoots him in the leg. I'm like, what? Terry, you could have he just shot him in the head, but he shoots Axel in the leg, and then Axel fucking shoots him big time with a machine gun and kills him.
Yeah, as the villain is killed very easily and in an anticlimactic fashion.
Yeah, a fight on a theme park ride. And at this point, Fulbright arrives and does a heel turn. And yeah, I've written there, presumably he was the
I've
one who
written down,
shot.
oh, the trustworthy Secret Service agent is here.
But then Axel goes, yeah, I knew you were in it from the start. No,
Oh,
I've worked out how. At no point have you discovered
no.
any evidence that Fulbright was part of this, apart from maybe having a hunch.
By bar one scene where they're looking at the forensics, no police work happens. Everything
No.
is handed to him.
Yeah,
Everyone's like, oh,
coincidence.
here's Uncle Dave's got this. No. Oh, all right. Oh, here's this towel. Oh, this person's clearly a villain.
Yeah, yeah. Yeah. Um, yeah, there's a bit of a tussle with Fulbright and he shoots him just as Flint arrives and Flint gets shot in the arm and doesn't really feel affected by it. If someone shot you in the arm, that would hurt. It would hurt a
Yeah.
lot.
Mm.
At this point, Billy turns up half dead, but they all laugh at being
Billy
shot.
would be Billy would be dead. Like he needs medical attention. The man has been shot like 6 times in the
Yeah,
torso. That man is gonna die.
yeah, absolutely. And we cut to some time later, and all three are in wheelchairs and casts, and we see that Uncle Dave is back and alive. And I've written down, why does Dave look better than these three? He was shot in the chest. And then Uncle Dave reveals the latest character at Wonderworld is Axel Fox, and the crowd cheer. And then Janice wants to show Axel the Tunnel of Love ride, which doesn't technically exist, but she's talking about
About
sex.
she's talking about her vagina again.
She is.
The I think I don't know how long after that all happened that this was because they've developed that Fox character pretty quickly. So what I suspect is they already had a Fox character in research and development, and they've gone just call it Axel. We'll pretend it's a whole thing. It's been gone in there for months. It's called Adam. Just call it Axel Fox.
There you
Easy.
go. Sorted.
Same number of letters.
Yeah. Then Axel smiles at the camera, and we get credits. There you go. That was Beverly Hills Cop 3. Right then. So let's rewind back. What did you love or hate about it when you saw it as a kid? Presumably, oh yeah,
Uh,
when you said you saw it on Sky, so yeah, you must have been what, 11, 12, something like
10
that?
or 11, yeah. See, what
Yeah.
I think a big part of it for me is I always wanted to go to Disneyland when I was a kid. I never got to go.
Hmm.
As an adult, I've got to go. But I always wanted to make that big, generous, that big
Yeah.
foreign trip.
Yeah.
Um, and I think seeing an action film set in a theme park was like, oh, that's amazing. Look, oh,
Yeah.
it's an amazing theme. I really want to go there. I mean, I think that's probably a big part of it. I think it appeals to a child because it's dumbed down quite significantly. It's
Yeah.
quite childish in its humor. I think it appeals to like a 10 or 11-year-old because it's still got the action, still got the swearing, um, which I hadn't remembered, to be fair. I mean, I might well have seen the edited version, but I doubt it. It was on Sky. It probably was the proper one.
Mm.
Yeah, probably those things. You?
I loved everything about this when I was a kid. I thought it was funny. I thought the stunts were really good. I liked the fact it was dumbed down as well. It was very easy to follow. You didn't have to have seen Beverly Hills Cop 1 and 2 to get this. I mean, I always liked Eddie Murphy as well. So yeah, it was
Yeah.
bright and colourful and loud. And yeah, same as you, I've always loved theme parks. I haven't got to go to America yet, but I've done all the ones in England and stuff, and I've always enjoyed those. So yeah, if you took away the swearing and violence, this would be entirely, aimed at kids because it's
Yeah.
just, why wouldn't they like this bit? I mean,
And, and as and as it kind of as it feels weirdly compromised the film. It feels like it's trying to do adult and kids at the same time and
yeah,
failing at both.
that's a fair point. Did you hate anything as a kid though, or did you just find it a fun, entertaining film?
No, I think no, I thought I just found it a fun, entertaining film. I don't think there's anything too hate with a kid, right? So,
No.
I think one of the things that doing this podcast has taught me is that my critical faculties as a child were shit. I just liked anything that was a movie.
Yeah, when you no, there was some stuff I watched as a kid and thought was crap. Yeah, generally though, if anything was on TV, I tend to watch it. I would never switch anything off.
There's probably stuff I watched as a kid that I thought was crap that I never watched now, but like, oh, I quite like that.
Well, yeah, that's why we did the reverse one for ET.
Exactly.
Right. Right. So before you trash this film, was there anything you liked about it?
Bronson Pinchot's Surge was very funny. I just enjoyed that kind of very camp, very ad libby humor. Um, ugh, I did it when I was watching it. It sounds anime. This isn't very good. It's just like, yeah, there wasn't much. I didn't think. I mean, yeah, there wasn't much to enjoy. I'm afraid.
That's it. I went into this expecting to hate it, and I ended up just having a really good time. I don't know whether because my expectations were so low, I just enjoyed it. But just everything I remembered loving it as a kid, I come back and was like, yeah, I still find it funny. I still think some of the action sequences are good. I still think it's fairly entertaining. It moves in a way that, it's easier to digest. You know what's going on. So I just, yeah, I had kind
I
of a
just
good.
think
There, go on.
for me, it's because it's not trying. The plot is A to B to C. There's no jokes really. It's not funny outside of that one sequence or the odd laugh, but very odd. It doesn't have any character development. The direction is flat. The performances are bored or bad.
Hmm.
Um, Judge Reinhold is fine. Hector Elizondo is fine. Everybody's fine, but you can sum it up in the fact that they've replaced Taggart with a new character, and he's just a carbon copy. It's lazy.
Yeah, yeah, that
It's
is
a
lazy.
lazy
Yeah,
film. It's got there's a shoehorned in love interest. There's no temp, and there's a lot of films like this. There's a lot of films that do this, where it's just carbon like copy one, two, three, A, B, C. Oh, this Secret Service guy's a villain. Say, obviously he's a fucking. Obviously they killed his mentor. That's why he's going to go. And yeah, of course, that's why. It's like it's so by the book.
yeah, yeah.
There's nothing. That's why when it came out with John Landis, I was shocked, absolutely shocked, because I love John Landis. He's done some great films, but good lord,
Well, clearly needed the work. But there are far worse films in this though. Like this film gets
there are.
such a bad rep. It gets such a bad rep. I'm like, why? It's not even the shittest thing we've covered on this podcast. I really don't get why it's
Oh no,
hated so
it's not. It's
much.
not the shittest thing we've covered in this podcast by a long stretch, but it's not. But it's not good,
I don't think it's
and it's
bad. I think it's
okay. Oh
fine.
no, I think it's bad. I think it's bad. I think it's lazy, which is
Oh,
even worse than being aggressively bad if they're trying.
it
Say
is.
what you want about Batman Forever, but at least they're trying.
Oh no, I couldn't sit through that
Bit
again. I
too
couldn't.
much. No, I couldn't, but I don't think I could sit through this again.
I could. I would definitely revisit this again. Like
I
for
wouldn't.
me,
It wouldn't keep my. The only reason it kept my attention is because I had to take notes. If I was sat at home and this was on, I would be on my phone in 3 seconds flat. I'd be up making like sandwiches and stuff and not pausing it. I'd be wandering to the toilet.
mm.
I don't need to pause. I don't need. Nothing's going to happen. Nothing of any interest is going to happen in this film.
Now see, I wonder how you would feel watching one and two, which are obviously regarded as the superior films. You might
Well,
also be a bit
that's
bored with that.
one in particular. I did want to go back and revisit those for this, but then I didn't because of timing. But I might well go back and revisit one. I don't think I've seen more than once, because it's a weird thing about this film is that it didn't sort of inspire me to go and watch the others. It
Hmm.
didn't make me want to go back and watch one or two. But I think maybe I will revisit one, because I think I might get more out of it. Especially it's
Yeah.
got Paul Reiser and Ronnie Cox in it, who I like both of those actors.
Yeah, I think you'd like the first one. I like the first one. And there's more Inspector Todd, who's fucking hilarious. But yeah,
Yeah.
cool. All right. Smith trivia.
Right, some trivia. We jump around a little bit like I normally do with this. So this was written by Stephen E. D'Souza. Stephen D'Souza wanted to pitch it as Die Hard, obviously, in a theme park. Part of what he said he would need to do to build the sets and the action sequences that he was writing in the original draft would have cost around 70 to 100 million to put together. So they said no. Apparently, the budget for this film was originally around the 70 million mark, but following a couple of failures of Eddie Murphy films, they dropped it down to about 55. So they had to kind of cut corners on some of it. We've already talked about some of the cast. Timothy Carhart, who played Ellis, is in Ghostbusters, which I
That's
didn't
who?
recognize him. He's Sigourney Weaver's boyfriend from the orchestra
Oh my
in
God,
Ghostbusters.
yes! He is!
I was looking it up and I was like, he was in Ghostbusters. I googled it. I was like, oh shit, he is.
Yeah,
Yeah,
fuck. I didn't realize
yeah.
that. Yeah.
Early drafts had apparently them going to London. So it was originally the original drafts of the script, original ideas for the script, which they said no to, involved them going to London, and they'd have been teamed up with either Sean Connery or later John Cleese, depending on who you believe, in the different drafts. That never came across. Yeah, Jerry Bruckheimer and Don Simpson, I believe, were
Hmm.
produced the first two. They're not produced on this one because they walked away over concerns about the budget and a disagreement on budgetary constraints. It is filmed in Paramount's Great America in California. Is the main bit
Hmm.
of the of the theme park. The Wonderworld song is written by the Sherman Brothers. Are you familiar with the Sherman Brothers?
No, sir.
The Sherman Brothers are songwriters of film who wrote the songs to Chitty Chitty Bang Bang, The Aristocats, Bedknobs and
Mm.
Broomsticks, amongst others. Also, they wrote the theme songs for It's a Small World, the ride,
Mhm.
and There's a Great Big Beautiful Tomorrow, which is the carousel of progress at Disney World,
Mm.
or Disneyland, sorry. So if you ever go to the Florida Disneyland, there's a very catchy song you'll hear on one of the rides. So they've got actual people who've got pedigree of writing stuff for theme parks. Um, Oh yes, another one of the other bits on London was had Axel, Billy, and Taggart going to London to rescue the captain from terrorists at an international police convention, which also would have been terrible. Um, oh yes, of the budget of about 55 or 70 million, depending on who you believe, Eddie Murphy got paid 15 million. Now I don't know if you've seen the quote from this. There's a quote with Eddie Murphy where he's talking about Beverly Hills Cop 3, and he's basically saying we don't need to make one. They never need to make one. They, however, keep writing scripts for it and trying to make one. There's no need to do it. If you ever see him in a Beverly Hills Cop 3, you should think, oh, he got paid an awful lot of money, which might also lend itself to why his performance is so lazy
Yeah.
in some of this. Um, so I check in. Oh, the Dino Finally Land of the Dinosaurs ride was built specifically for the film.
Mm.
So that is not an existing ride that was built for the film. The cameos are George Lucas, Joe Dante, Arthur Hiller, John Singleton, Babette Schroeder, and Ray Harryhausen. So lots of big names from film. Nile Rodgers did the soundtrack, as we know. He's done a new version of the Axel theme tune, which is why it sounds a bit odd.
Mm.
Uh, we cover a lot of this as we're talking through.
That's fun. We can stop.
Yes, and yeah, that's everything. We covered all of the trivia that I had.
Cool, cool. Right. So the final verdict, does it hold up?
No,
I'm gonna say it
flat no.
does. I'm gonna say it does.
Oh, you
I
coward.
remembered this word for word, beat for beat, joke for joke, scene for scene, everything, and I still had a good time with it. And even my wife watched it for the first time, and she hasn't even seen Beverly Hills Cop 1 and 2. She was, oh, that was quite fun. I enjoyed that. So
All right, then I did not care for it.
it's just a dumb popcorn movie I can put on and switch my brain off and not be offended by it. So yeah, I'm gonna say it holds up. Would I watch it again? Yeah, probably. I'd probably
I
watch.
wouldn't.
I'd definitely watch one again. I definitely need to go and watch two because I remember very little of it. But there you go. Cool. So it's one of those weird ones where it kind of holds up. Right. So next episode's nomination, which is me. And yeah, actually, I think next episode is going to be our 3-year anniversary because today was the 50th episode. Should have said that at the top of the episode, but never mind. Sorry. Sorry. Yeah. But yeah, so next episode's nomination, which is the 3-year anniversary. So Smith, what I asked to say to you, what is your favorite musical?
Oh, my favorite musical. I'm quite fond of Oh Brother Where Art Thou, if you count that as a musical.
Oh yeah, that is a
Or
musical.
La La Land is pretty good.
Yeah, that is good. That is good. Because yeah, I thought we'd do something a little bit different for our next episode. So this is kind of a musical, but not quite. It's its own thing. What would you say is your favorite musical that also has Joe Pesci in it?
Joe Pesci done a musical?
Technically.
Oh, I can't think.
Okay. What is your favorite musical that also has Joe Pesci in it, which features Michael Jackson?
Oh, I forgot Joe Pesci was in that.
Yes, he's in a very perplexing conclusion to the movie where they're chasing them through the streets. He's a gangster.
Oh,
We are doing Michael Jackson's Moonwalker. I thought it was quite timely given the Michael Jackson biopic has just come out. And yeah, I've genuinely not watched Moonwalker since it came out and it was on TV once Christmas when I was a kid. And I just thought, why not? It's an experience. And we need to just go back and revisit it and just see what the fuck it's all about as adults.
God.
Yeah,
Why? Why you, mate?
it's worse if you're not a fan of Michael Jackson's music.
I mean, I'm a fan of Michael Jackson's music. I'm not a fan of Michael Jackson.
No, no, never mind. But yeah, let's save that for
Allegedly.
allegedly. But yeah, so for the 3 year anniversary episode, we will be doing Michael Jackson's Moonwalker. So just want to plug our socials before we get out of here. You can reach us on email, it doesn't hold up podcast@gmail.com. We're on Instagram at it doesn't hold up podcast. We're on Twitter, or X as it's now known, it doesn't hold up pod. We are on YouTube at it doesn't hold up podcast, and we are on Spotify, Apple Podcast, and all other good places you listen to podcasts. Give us a good review. Keep getting those suggestions coming through. We will cover them just like we did for Moonraker. So, Smith, is there anything else you would like to say on Beverly Hills Cop 3 before we reconvene for Michael Jackson's Moonwalker?
Yes. Will somebody turn off that fucking podcast?
And I just want to say, is that fucking Foley in here?